What's up, guys? Welcome back. So there's a quote that I really love. It's from Picasso. It's learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist. And in fighting, that's the truth. Everybody wants to break the rules right away. They want to throw a spinning heel kick. They want to throw Superman punches, flying knees. But the thing is, if you skip the rules, you're not an artist anymore. You're just being sloppy. And that's why the basics are always more important than the new flashy move that you learn. No matter how advanced you are, no matter how experienced you have become, you will keep coming back to the fundamentals. And what I've realized is that when I train, I'm not always blasting full power or going as fast as I can. A lot of the time, I'm just asking myself, how clean is this? Am I efficient? Am I dropping my hands? Am I stepping in the right spot? Because those small details are what actually separates beginners from killers. But when your basics are sloppy, you gas out faster, you get hit more, you hesitate because nothing feels solid. And the opposite of that is when your basics are sharp, you feel calm, you could flow, you actually see openings in sparring instead of forcing things. And that's the thing that people don't realize, is that basics are not boring once they click. When your jab snaps back into guard without you thinking, when your footwork lines up perfectly so your combo lands smooth, all that stuff feels addictive. When you can finally land liver shots to the body, training gets really fun. Now I want to give you a real example. Ilia Topuria, El Matador, 17-0, double champ by 2025, finishing guys like Max Holloway, Charles Oliveira, Alexander Volkanovski. And something insane is that in his entire UFC career, he's never even thrown a high kick, not once. So I'm not saying a high kick is flashy because it's standard for Muay Thai and kickboxing, but his whole striking game is built on sharp boxing, pressure, and timing. He doesn't waste energy on stuff he doesn't need. So he doesn't need to be throwing high kicks. He works his way pressuring with boxing and wrestling. And it works because he's walking through world-class fighters with just clean fundamentals. He even said himself that he doesn't train MMA as one messy mix. He trains boxing like a boxer, wrestling like a wrestler, BJJ like a grappler, then he puts it all together. That's why he looks so composed in there. So think about that. If a world champ undefeated can dominate without ever touching half the flashy moves, what does that say? It says that the basics, when mastered, are advanced. And that's why I drill repetition, efficiency, the small details, because when the fight gets tough, your body doesn't need something new. It needs something sharp, something that's been trained and honed multiple times, thousands of reps. Now, let's talk about how you could actually train this mindset, not just in theory, but in practice. Whenever you learn things from me, I want you to try it immediately. That's how you retain information better. And this is what this channel is about. If I give you some educational type of content, I want you to implement it as soon as possible. Okay, so number one, fundamentals only sparring. Okay, it's self-explanatory. Next time you spar, cut out all the flashy stuff. No spinning kicks, no crazy setups, just jab, cross, hook, low kicks. What happens is that instead of feeling limited, you actually realize how much more sharp you are. Your defense gets tighter because your hands stay home. Your head movements gets cleaner because you're not thinking about 10 different options. Your stamina lasts longer because you're only using the essentials. And that confidence starts to build. You feel comfortable pressuring. You feel your opponent backing up because you're using just efficient movements. You're not wasting your energy. You know your guard is solid. And this one drill alone can change the way you fight completely. Number two, round of one weapon of choosing. Okay, so another way to sharpen your basics is to dedicate an entire round to just one tool. For example, only use your jab for 3 minutes. You know, at first it feels like you're handicapping yourself, but what it really does is that it forces you to solve problems with that one weapon. And by the end of the round, that weapon levels up more than it would in weeks of just sprinkling it in. When you bring everything back together, your arsenal feels way more complete. Number three, controlled breaker drill. Now this one's a little different. For one round, fight under the rules. And then for the next round, allow yourself to break them. Example, so one round can just be sharp basics. And the next round, let yourself add in something unorthodox. Maybe a shuffle step, a stance switch, a weird angle. You start to feel the difference instantly. And this rule gives you the structure. Then breaking them feels earned, not sloppy. That's where the quote comes in. Learn the rules like a pro so you can break them like an artist. I'll see you guys in the next video. Hope you like this one.